All right, gang, we are diving into a pre-crisis Earth. He is the new Green Lantern. And don't you forget it. This is issue 196. And when I was starting to learn more about the Green Lantern Corps, I remember kind of flipping through, trying to kind of understand what's the word I'm looking for, chronology of events and whatnot. And I remember coming across this cover, and I always thought this was just freaking amazing. All those heavy ink splotches there, and then just the jet red background, absolutely phenomenal. So the print date on this is January 86, so that probably would have been like, what, December or November of 85. Anyway, we open up, and this book is called 3. And I want y'all to keep that in mind because that is a running theme in this book. This is, and again, I forget first names, and I hate when they just use like last names or first names because it just does not give the artists and the creative team the full credits that they deserve, but it's still there, so I'm just going to go by their last names because God, out the window with what their first names were. So this is Englehart doing the art, writing, Staton doing the pencils, Patterson doing inks, Buhalis doing the lettering, Tollin, colorist, that thing, and then Helfer editing. Dark emerald green, like rich Tiffany bottles. Green like the back of a dead fly. This is how Guy Gardner sees the power that's his now. The verdant light given to those chosen by the guardians of the universe to be Green Lantern. And he's coming back to Earth to use it on anyone who gets in his way. Now again, talking about 3s. This is from Elizabethan manuscript. Multiplication is vexation. Division is as bad. The rule of 3 doth puzzle me, and practice drives me mad. Love that. I love this old school art. So Guy essentially comes back to his hometown. Now, let's get into it. He goes, there it is. Monument Street. So ritzy once. So nothing now. Just like the rest of Baltimore. Just like me. Before Guy Gardner got what he always should have had, Green Lantern's might. Just because Aben Sur crashed in California, the ring he wore went to Hal Jordan in Coast City instead of me over here. Just because of that, in all other respects, we are equal, identical in worthiness and freedom from fear. But he got the ring, and he lived the life, while I went on living here, messing with snotty-nosed kids, trying to make ends meet and coming up short month after month. So much time wasted because I lived here. So much time to make up. Excuse me, man, but who you is? I'm glad you asked that, friend. I'm Green Lantern, Earth's newest hero, and I hate this place. So you can see Guy, in the beginning, I mean, he still has an attitude, but he's a little more lovable now. But back in the day, he was just a straight up dick. Around this time period. I mean, if you go back to his first appearance, which we have gone over, so I'll try to remember to add the link. He was more you just kind of like your little snotty like Johnny Storm back in the day. But here, man, they've like cranked him up to 11. Now remember, 3. So we see this again. We see Baba, Black Sheep. Have you any wool? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 3 bags full. Mother Goose. So we get Guy, Hal, and at this point, Hal does not have his power ring. It's gone to Guy in the events of Crisis on Infinite Earths. Bright forest green, like a glen on a hot summer's day. Green like a banner flown proudly in the breeze. This is how Hal Jordan sees the energy that once was his, the verdant light given those chosen by the guardians of the universe to be Green Lantern. And he's coming back to Earth with his latest wild hopes of ever having it back dashed to bits. I'm really finished this time. I threw my pride away and offered myself for any job, anything at all I could do to help save the universe in its hour of crisis. And they turned me down. Not even at the end of the world could I get to wear the ring again. And still, it's funny, but I don't feel that bad. Then we cut to John. Cool, soft green, like key lime pie on the back porch at dusk, like the first grass bursting forth in spring. This is how John Stewart sees the magic that's his now, that's his now. Verdant light given those chosen by the guardians of the universe to be Green Lantern. He's coming back to Earth with a big win under his belt. His fitness for his job, forever proven. Ring Circus. He and the heroes of Five Earths looked the death of the multiverse straight in the eye, and it blinked. They lost friends and allies, but they drove the dreaded Anti-Monitor back into the darkness which spawned him. And then he comes, at this point, he's with this, I cannot remember if she is related to Sinestro or not, but what was her name? Katma too. I can't remember if she was related to either Sinestro or Tomar. I can't remember. You guys are going to have to help me out down in the comments. But they're in love. And the way that they talk to each other, you could feel the passion in her voice. But she says that there is still danger. Now, one thing that I'm glad that they retconned that I think is kind of silly is, of course, O is supposed to be like the center of the universe, so trying to fly there by yourself, you wouldn't make it. And so they have to do what's called like a body double. The green beam burns into her brain. Her energy twin collapses time and space. But when it reaches the Guardian's world at the apex of the universe, the shield, which barred her way before, is still in place. So something is going on Oa, which she tells John that the crisis isn't over. Even after everything he's seen, he is fear of it. Now here again, we see the attitude, or should I say the sheer freaking hubris of Guy Gardner as he tries to resurrect and defeat a villain that Hal Jordan put down. And even this guy is like, you aren't Green Lantern, I want Hal Jordan. And Hal just wants to put him down for the sake of having the title, which I'm glad that they show that even though he tries to have that hubris, it is undone. And then we see the complete juxtaposition with John, where he actually embraces Hal and asks for his advice. So even though he was a very angry person before he joined the Corps, he goes, he finally reveals that, hey, I was Green Lantern. It's me, Hal. Geez, I always did think you reminded me of somebody, but yeah, I see it now. You are him. The guy who grabbed me off the street and made me Green Lantern. The guy everybody from the GL Corps to Major Disaster calls the best there ever was. The guy who broke up Kat's romance. That's me. But you gave it up for your girlfriend. And my God, that Carol Ferris. But Carol Ferris is I know. Let's not talk about that. And so again, I love that John is like the opposite of hubris. He let his anger go and actually looks to Hal for advice. And that's why I've always loved all three of these characters, because they have their hangups, they have their strengths. And I am kind of glad that they toned, Guy's attitude down, because it really did make him unlikable. And as this book comes to an end, Guy says that there's only one room for one Green Lantern. So next issue, I love how it counts down. This was called 3, and the next issue will be called 2. So I definitely need to hunt down issue 197. But if you guys have enjoyed what you've seen within the pages of issue 196, please first and foremost support your local comic shop or wherever you get your action figures and comics and grab this issue. And if you've enjoyed this review, really would appreciate taking a moment to like, share, and subscribe. Helps the channel more than you could possibly know. And if you don't mind hitting that fancy little power ring bell next, subscribe. That way, as I get upload content, you guys get notified. Come to the channel, and I love talking with you on hearing your thoughts and feedback down in the comments or the socials, which I'll make sure the links down in the description. So with all that said, I've also additionally left a PayPal tip jar link down in the description if you enjoy what I do on this channel and you'd like to support it. And if not, I still appreciate you guys checking out this video. Either way, hope you all continue to have an absolutely amazing day reading, and happy hunting, everyone.